Happy to have you here. You are the mayor of a beautiful little town called Montpelier in Blackford County, Indiana. And I just want to talk about what life is like as a mayor in a small rural community and some of the vision that you have for that community. So yeah, thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the invitation.
So Mayor, tell us a little bit about your background. So how did you get into politics? You've only been serving for a year and a half. But you grew up in Montpelier, but why Montpelier? What attracts people to Montpelier, and what do they say when they come into your into your amazing little town there?
Yeah, I grew up in Montpelier, born and raised there, and graduated from Blackford High. Went on to Ball State University. Right when I went off to Ball State University, my father became mayor, and he was mayor for 12 years. Did a great job. He certainly put a lot of community pride into me. His service was something that I just treasured, and I saw his dedication, his love for our community. It certainly instilled that in me as well. I love our community. It's a small community, but after I graduated from Ball State, I went on to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and started a small business there. And ran that for a while. And after I got married, I met my wonderful wife Tina, and we decided to move back to Montpelier. And my father was just retiring from the Neff Realty business, so I was able to step into his position there. I was a fourth generation, and I've served in just about every capacity. I've been Chamber of Commerce president 5 times, economic development president twice, and Kiwanis president twice, and very involved in our church. What we loved about Montpelier is that the low cost of living allowed us to have kids, and my wife could stay home. That was very important to us. And also having a place where our kids could ride their bikes around town and not feel safe.
Yes, right.
And we like to go for walks, and so it's just a great community. It's a very low key community where people can just relax and get to know each other.
And for people who don't know, Montpelier's in Blackford County. Blackford County is maybe an hour just north of Indianapolis, basically.
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
It's an hour and a half. Just you've got your county seat is Hartford City.
Correct.
And so now Blackford, interestingly enough, is one of the more impoverished counties of the state, right?
Sure, yes,
as I look at Blackford County, I've been really impressed with some of the leadership, the newer leadership. There's a lot of it seems to be a lot of people that really have a passion for Blackford County that are really in leadership now, and they're driving this. Hey, we can shoot for the stars here. We don't have to be stuck in a rut. Let's think outside the box. And so had a lot of good conversations with Mayor Dan over in Hartford City.
Absolutely, Mayor Dan's great.
And so you obviously doing what you're doing. People I think people are starting to minimalize their life a little bit. They're wanting to move out of the big cities, out of the traffic of the congested suburban areas, and try to get in a little bit more of these rural communities. So what do you say to somebody that's thinking about Montpelier and as far as just their potentially coming to a place like that?
Our motto is a great place to call home.
Okay, so there you go.
And we live up to that. It's if you're looking to get out of the bigger congestion and you're tired of the headaches of 465 or just the high crime areas, Montpelier's a great place to live.
How big is it? How big is Montpelier?
It's only 1,500.
1,500 people. Okay, and you've been a city for 100 years.
Yeah, we're 100 years.
Okay, so you've had a mayor. That's fascinating because there's some you got some cities that are thousands of people, and they don't have a mayor. They're still a town.
Yorktown. Right.
Was
that like 30,000? I don't remember.
Exactly.
It's huge, but
so they'll have a town manager. So what's it like being a mayor of 1,500 people?
Yeah, it's good. With the heritage I had, I actually didn't really want to be mayor. I started off, but we were just hit a slump where we had some things not going well for us, and I just felt like we needed new leadership, and so that was why I actually spent some time trying to find someone else to run.
Okay.
But it's actually a part-time position,
Yeah,
so
okay.
it's not easy to find somebody who has the time.
Yeah.
And you basically have to be able to support yourself in many ways.
Now, you were just the recipient of an OCRA grant.
Yes,
just,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Just
Thank
yesterday,
you.
right?
Yes,
Did you get the news yesterday?
Yeah, I did.
So,
Yeah.
so you're gonna now. What's that OCRA grant going to go towards?
It's our water plant. We
Okay.
had a leak in the filter.
Okay.
It was only 14 years old, which is frustrating because we took out a 40-year loan on this.
Okay.
And it's supposed to last 40 years.
Okay.
And this filter sprung a leak, and we could not find why. Believe me, we tried. I had a number of engineers come in and look at this, and they all have guesses, but because of the way the filter's set up with media, you really can't put a camera in there. So the filter, the only way we could fix it was we had to get a new filter.
Okay.
So that was it's going to go towards that, but also in this grant is we're going to get new water meters.
Okay.
And the water, one of our largest complaints in our city is that our water can be expensive, and if we have somebody has a water leak and we only read once a month, somebody can have a water leak and then suddenly they get this huge bills. Yes, absolutely. It's and so it's very frustrating for everybody because we don't want that. So with this grant,
you're gonna get the new
we're going to get new
meters?
meters. We're going to get meters that people can tell from their cell phones. They download an app or on the computer. It'll alert them if there's a leak.
It's great. Does it alert you too that this is sort of outside the normal water usage for a home? And
I believe it does. I think it's.
We were just in Cynthiana giving a water grant, OCRA grant that they were going to use for water, and they were going to update their meters.
Yeah.
And they told a story. There was a lady that went to I think Florida for the winter, and she had a water leak, and nobody caught it until they came home, and she had this bill that was thousands of dollars for water, and it was and how do you can't catch it right if nobody's there. So he said that this will alert local officials.
Yes.
Hey, this is abnormal usage. Might want to go check on the house and the people living there and make sure that So I think it's just a great thing for towns like yours.
Oh yes, much needed.
Now this is not your first OCRA grant. Tell us about what the OCRA grant you got even before you were in politics.
Yes. So in 2008, I was actually playing basketball with my son right at the basketball courts right beside a large field. It was owned by the school, and I was playing basketball, and I just got a vision of a community center, and I felt like it was a vision from God, and I immediately said that's impossible, and so dismissed it. Just a little bit later, I'm talking to our Blackford Economic Development Director, and he just out of the blue brings up, "Hey, do you know there's this grant available?" And I'm like, "What is it?" And he says, "OCRA Block Grant," and he said, "You can use it for a community center." I'm like, I did not say a word about grants.
He had no idea that
I didn't even say anything about community center, and he just brought it up, and I was like, wow. I said, that's crazy. And so then we organized a group, a 501c3. We also started off with prayer on that field, and our church and anybody who wanted the community center was welcome to come, and we prayed on that field a lot. And I tell you, we ran into a lot of obstacles trying to get that done. OCRA grant was $500,000. We needed $1 million. We ended up, and I honestly thought, again, you stated that our community's not well off. Here we're trying to raise $50,000, and I wasn't sure we'd get it.
Yeah.
And we ended up raising $150,000.
Wow.
And it was a real blessing. And after the USDA, the OCRA, and the commissioners gave us some money, we ended up with exactly what we needed to build that building.
Oh, wow, praise God.
And I know, and that was what a miracle. It was really
you said
cool.
your church just came out and said, we're going to pray over the land, right?
Absolutely.
So they caught the vision.
They did.
They came out, they prayed.
Yeah.
And so really the power of prayer
Absolutely.
is fantastic. Yeah.
And
so now you have a community center there.
Yes, we do. And I don't know what we'd do without it. It's just used in so many ways for family gatherings, for basketball leagues, it's a fitness center too.
Okay.
So people can go up there and exercise. and it's conference room, like our Chamber of Commerce meets there every month.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
How has your church gotten involved in kind of supporting you, as the mayor and kind of that civic engagement in the public square? And how have you brought in that faith component to your government position?
Yeah, we start every meeting with prayer.
That's great.
And I really feel like God has blessed us for that.
Yeah.
So we start every meeting and ask for direction, and I
Just like what the founders did back at the Constitutional Convention.
Absolutely, that's true.
Yep.
That's a very true.
Yep.
Yeah. So and that got them through. I just heard that story about Benjamin Franklin coming in and saying that we need to go back to prayer after they couldn't agree on the Constitution.
They were basically deadlocked, and for 4 weeks, in this hot, Philadelphia the convention hall here, the Liberty Hall, and they were they just couldn't move. And Franklin gets up and he says, hey, we went to God every day during the Revolution.
Yes,
but we
yes.
haven't went to him once during this endeavor. And he said, if a sparrow can fall to the ground without God's knowing, how can we expect to build an empire without His aid? And so then they called a pastor every day they kicked off. And that's where we get the idea to open, city meetings, county meetings, state legislature, and remember in days of Congress with prayer. It's because Ben Franklin got up and said, hey, we should pray because God needs to be in this or we won't do it. It won't. Absolutely. It's not going to be done right. And so, that's fantastic. I love that.
That is cool.
So you met did you meet your wife in Michigan?
I did.
Okay.
I met her through church. I met at church in Kentland Community Church in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Actually, the pastor is now a resident of the Indianapolis area.
Okay.
He's now in charge of the West.
Kentwood Community Church. Is that a big church?
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah. Okay.
It didn't start off that way. We actually saw it grow.
Yeah.
It started off in somebody's garage, and then it kept growing and growing. And
I think we worked with
Dr. Wayne Schmidt. Actually, he's the head of the Wesleyan denomination.
Okay.
He was our pastor.
Okay.
And that was really cool.
Yeah, I think we did some stuff with Kentwood when I was.
Really?
When I was in Northview, we would partner with other bigger churches.
Oh, okay.
I think we did some stuff with their youth ministry team. So that's what, I remember that name. But so you were there, met your wife there, then you came back to Indiana to the great, Hoosier State, and
absolutely, that's where our heart was always at, anyway.
That's fantastic. So Mayor, what are some of the future? You're a year and a half into being a mayor. What are the challenges, and what's your vision for Montpelier?
Yes.
What if you got people listening, watching? What do you want to tell them? Say, hey, this is where we're going, and this is the vision that we have.
We have, I think, a real opportunity. I believe we'll be coming back in possession of a building that I would like to turn into a senior housing and senior assisted living type of facility. I love AIM. I tell you, AIM has been educational. It's just been so supportive.
For people who don't know what that is, what is AIM?
It's Advancing Indiana Municipalities. It's an organization that supports the municipalities.
So it's like all local leadership getting together and talking about best practices.
It is. So I was at a conference last year in Madison, Indiana, and I just got some great ideas from that. And I was talking about Mayor Courtney at that point.
And, great guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Madison, Indiana.
I got a couple of great ideas from him. But one of them was, I said, they've got this old building. What would you do with it? And he said, well, I've turned an old hospital and an old school into senior housing, and it's worked out great. What it is a lot of widows are living in these houses that are senior houses or family houses. But they're big houses, but they don't want to leave the community because all their friends are there.
Yeah.
And so he turned these senior housing and got this, so they're able to move into senior housing.
Okay.
And then open up family houses for new families to move back into the community.
That's great.
And I said, well, that's a great idea. I would love for that to be in our community too. And then I also got I totally stole this. He has a PACE grant, which is a facade grant.
Okay.
A lot of communities have that. But I was touring there. He was giving me a tour of the community. And I said, how in the world do you get everybody to buy into this? He said, every property looks beautiful down here. And he said, well, he said, this PACE grant. Well, Montpelier, when we had a high school, we were the Pacers.
Okay.
And so I decided to name our grant the Pacer grant.
Okay.
And so now we have a facade grant as well. So I totally copied his idea.
That's great. No, that's fantastic. Well, listen, the facades go a long ways.
Yeah,
I mean, that curb appeal when people are driving into town.
Absolutely.
It really, if you want to attract people to move into your community and to work, live, and play there. They want it to be nice, right? Absolutely. And so that facade grant is kind of it's that spark that kind of draws people in, and then I think Madison's a great example for how to really do that.
Oh, there's a few communities I've always follow and just kind of watching what they're doing and try to copy what they're doing.
That's great.
So also there's housing addition. I really want to add new houses in our community.
Okay.
So as a realtor, I'm a realtor as well, and I know there's demand.
Yeah.
And so if we could put some new housing in, we will grow our population, and that will help everybody. Our businesses and everything.
So this is a really cool little statistic of Montpelier. One of my favorite TV shows of all times is Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
at the very beginning of Parks and Rec, if you're a Parks and Rec fan, you'll see the intro, and there's a shot of Montpelier and a really famous just sort of statue there. What is that?
Yeah, that's our. That was given us. That's our Indian.
You're Indian. You got an Indian statue right there. So if you're watching this and you've ever seen that Indian at the beginning of Parks and Rec, that's coming right from your town.
Absolutely, it is. I know, it's cool. I just got it. I was actually part of the Chamber of Commerce, and I got an email saying, "Hey, could you send me a picture of the Indian?" Didn't identify who it was or anything. So actually,
it was a producer from Parks and Rec.
It was really cool. And so actually, one of the lady that works for me at the time that went out and took the picture, they gave her I think $100 for the picture, and then they identified themselves and they said, "Hey, by the way, this picture is going to be on this show."
Oh my goodness!
So that was really exciting for our community. And my office is right across from the Indian, so I see cars driving by, hit their brake lights and swing back around, and then everybody jumps out of the car and gets their pictures.
Because they recognize it.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's
funny. It's a great.
Do you have a sign that says "Home of the Famous Parks and Rec Indian"?
No, we don't. No, we actually, it was donated from by the Miami Indians used to have a reservation there.
Okay.
Right there in Montpelier, right in the Montpelier area, and back when my father was mayor, and back in the 80s and 90s. He was trying to get a state park for the Miami Indians.
Okay.
And I believe, great-great-great-grandson of the last war chief, Francis Godfrey, called Dad, said, "I heard you're trying to get a state park for the Miami Indians. I would like to give the statue to go right at the entrance." And he said, "Well, in the meantime, I know you don't have it yet. Put it in a prominent spot." Yeah. So we put it in the most prominent spot you could get, right downtown. So anybody who goes through Montpelier sees our Indian.
Oh, that's amazing.
So,
next time I go through Montpelier, I need to stop and I will get a picture.
Absolutely.
With it.
Yeah.
That should be what everyone watching, if you're watching, your goal should be at some point in the next year, stop into Montpelier, get a picture with the Indian. What's a good place to eat when you're at Montpelier?
Carrie's or Frosties. There's so many good places.
Okay. Okay, great.
We just have a new restaurant opening, actually a coffee house. Positive Energy. I can't list them all, but there's several great restaurants.
Oh, that's great. And then one other really interesting fact about yourself, Mayor. So you started a weekly newspaper.
Yes.
Is it still going?
Yeah, sure is.
It is.
Sure
okay,
is.
So this was back in what, 2005?
2005, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's all about small town Montpelier?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Our Montpelier Herald actually had been in business for over 100 years. It closed in 2005. And I was sitting in a meeting with my father and brother, and we were like, we need a paper.
Yeah.
And so I was able to start it off with another lady who did a great job getting us off to Heather White. Just did a great job getting us started as the first editor, and it's still going.
Okay.
It covers things no one else covers. I mean, papers are dying out.
Yeah.
And so to get the city council and even county news. Yep. This is a valuable resource for our community, and also just what's going on, and then we do highlight stories for build up the community pride of and help everybody know what the history of some people.
Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, you're right. Newspapers, unfortunately, are a dying breed.
They are,
and it's really hard to know where to go to get local news.
Yeah.
And real local. I mean, you're a town of 1,500 people.
Yeah.
I mean, most towns of 1,500 people can barely think about getting kids to school, let alone having a paper and having business and industry, and you're doing it. It sounds like Montpelier is really headed in a great direction.
Mary Wilson's our editor, and Jen Stoltz. They kind of co-edit it together. They're an awesome team.
Yeah.
Just really appreciate them so much. I don't have much to do with it at this point. our office runs the administrative part, but the paper is putting the paper together.
And they are not fake news, correct? Okay, not fake news.
Total
Good.
true.
Okay, good.
Total
Boy,
legitimate news.
It's hard to find media outlets and journalism where it's not fake
Yeah,
anymore.
I know.
So, but Montpelier is you can find true news.
Absolutely, and we have zero national news.
Okay.
And only the way we cover anything with national or state news is if it has something to do with Montpelier.
Okay, all
It's
right.
all about Montpelier.
Yeah.
and the community.
Okay.
Like Blackford County too. So.
Now, you're not that far from, isn't there Montpelier, Ohio?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true. We're not. Yeah, we're not
so
far.
do people get confused
Yes, they
sometimes?
do. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Montpelier, Ohio is northwest Ohio? Is
That's
that
right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
It's,
and
you
so,
go-
because I grew up in Hillsdale, Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah,
so,
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
you know,
that's-
I remember hearing about Montpelier, but
Yeah.
it was always Ohio.
Right.
And then I heard
Yeah.
about you and
Yeah.
what you're doing in Montpelier. And I'm like, Montpelier, wait, there's but that's fantastic, Mayor. If people want to find out more about just, how, Montpelier's doing things or even just coming to check out Montpelier, getting a hold of you all, where should they go?
Two places. Facebook, as we post a lot of news, current news on Facebook.
Okay.
Go to our Facebook page and also our website, montpelier.in.gov.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
So that's...
And the last thought here, what do small towns like Montpelier, what role do you think they're going to play going forward in Indiana's future, and how valuable do you think they are to the whole Indiana DNA?
Yeah, it is Indiana. When I think of Indiana, I think of small towns.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
I don't
me too.
think the bigger communities.
Yep.
It's about family. It's about wholesomeness. I love that our community is a low crime area. I love that the kids can ride their bikes through the community. Yeah. We have bike rides, on. Sometimes we organize group bike rides and go through the whole town. It's a safe place. It's a place where people can drive their golf carts and go for walks. I guess just a great place to call home. It's our motto.
No, I love that. I think my job as lieutenant governor is to really help facilitate and oversee small town Indiana, rural communities. I'm a small town boy, grew up in a small town, and there's nothing like a small town.
Absolutely, that's true. It isn't. There isn't. Yeah, and we're actually some of the cool things. We've actually had a lot of famous people, or not a lot, but we've had a few. Our astronaut Kevin Ford. Grew up in Montpelier, and which is one of the cool things about history facts is he grew up in Montpelier working at our grocery store, and so a lot of people got to know him from that.
Cool.
And the grocery store owner gave him his first plane ride.
Okay.
So here he is giving a plane ride to this astronaut.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And so we actually got a LWCF grant, and next year we're going to start remodeling a park, and we're going to make an aerospace theme. In honor of him.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's going to donate some memorabilia and also a lot of videos, and we're going to have kiosks in different places.
That's fantastic.
So it's really, we're really...
Man, so if you're watching this, get to Montpelier, check out all the amazing things they're doing, and then next year you'll be able to go to a great park. And
absolutely.
Okay.
So,
well, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, Mayor, thank you so much for taking time and coming on. And you got something over here? Yep. Let's see here. We got...
Well, we want to say thank you. Thank you for
you.
honoring our community.
Thank you.
I really appreciate
Can I open this right now?
So, absolutely.
Okay,
I want you
all
to.
right.
Yeah, that would be a
All right,
great
let's
thing.
see what this is.
This is
Thank you. It's very kind of you.
Sure.
All right, let's see.
I don't know if you can tie that.
Did you have to untie that?
Done.
I think there
we go.
Okay. This is like Christmas all over again.
It is.
It's like, I'm like that one guy that like everyone's watching trying to unwrap the present. It's just like, just tear it open. What are you waiting for?
That's right.
So, look at this. Oh, but that is amazing. Thank you.
So you're now
I'm an honorary.
Yes, you're an honorary member.
I love it. A great place to call home. Listen, it's thank you, Mayor, and thanks for making a town like Montpelier a great place to call home for Hoosiers. So,
all right, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. This is great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I love the emblem, the gold, the blue.
We tried it a lot of different ways in doing that, and then we thought embroidery was the best way to make it look good. So,
Great.
that's right. Yeah.